Hello everyone, it's me, Vivi, and welcome back. The extended version of Famitsu got published on the 28th of April. A couple things happened. 1. The Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary artwork was featured on the cover of Famitsu, with some minor adjustments. Many pointed out that Namine's shoulder straps were missing, as well as Strelitzia's hairpin being incorrect. Those got fixed. And the official Twitter account tweeted out a nice clean official render of this artwork. And the next thing that happened, we got even more information on KH4 by director of the series Tetsuya Nomura. And as always, thank you to KH Insider for providing us with translations of Famitsu. With that said, let's begin. This one maybe won't come off as new information necessarily. Nomura stated that the location Sora's in would be Minami Aoyama. He also added that what we see from the balcony compared to the real life location, it's not exactly the same thing. So he then explained that the Osaka team, the same team as Kingdom Hearts 3 by the way for those curious, will do some location scouting to make adjustments. A question was brought up regarding the woman who was familiar with Quadratum in Melody of Memory. Nomura was asked if this girl, who he called the Nameless Star, if she'd appear in KH4. Nomura stated that the answer will remain a secret. He restates the fact that he wasn't sure whether to tackle Virum Rex or KH4. Nomura believed there was anticipation for Virum Rex ever since Yozora got revealed, but in the end, KH4 and Virum Rex would be too big games to develop. So they went with KH4, and Nomura had explained that fans were also worried about Sora. If anything, he added that this girl we meet in Melody of Memory is a central part of Virum Rex. The team implemented drastic changes to character designs, and with that, Nomura explained that the characters' appearance would match the nature of the world they are in. In this case, Sora looking more quote-unquote realistic here simply has to do with Quadratum. This you probably knew already, but what seems a bit different in his statement? It's implied that Sora's design overall has been changed. In this case, Sora going back to his homeworld, or the usual shader we're used to, he'll maintain this new design, but the textures and shader will make him blend with Donald and Goofy. In terms of outfits, at least looking at Sora's, it is not finalized. Some finer details might get changed. Nomura mentioned Sora's silhouette. I think, bear with me here, alright? I think he's talking about the Sora HUD on screen. He said that it will be similar to the one we already have here. Next thing to talk about, the Masters, or Foretellers in this case, have vanished after the Keyblade War, explained Nomura. For those not too familiar with the Key Saga, a Keyblade War took place, and we never actually knew what happened to the Foretellers after that. Surely many of us jumped to the conclusion that they either died or simply vanished. The latter would be more accurate, going off what we saw in KH3's epilogue. The Masters were summoned back by Lushu. Let's remember the fact that the Master of Masters made it so him, Lushu, along with the Foretellers, all of them would act as vessels to those 7 darknesses. Without a form, these darknesses cannot be destroyed. Well, okay, if that's the case, you might believe that the Foretellers died, or were sacrificed during the war. Maybe? Here's why. If the new 7 dark pieces are anything to go by, what we have here during the Kingdom Hearts 3 epilogue, then these 7 darknesses are still active, and hidden inside the Foretellers still. In other words, Foretellers never died, but did indeed vanish. Nomura states it was never explained what actually happened to these Foretellers after the war, but he did reassure us that they did simply vanish. From what we can understand here, the Foretellers vanished after the war because they were summoned to the future by Lushu. Well, future in this case would be the present. One way or another, Lushu was able to summon these guys to the present. In terms of what role these Lost Masters will play, Nomura explained the following. Simply put, the Lost Masters are an opposing force like Organization 13. However, not all of them have the same intentions. Their motives will be newly depicted in Kingdom Hearts 4, so in that sense, I hope you will enjoy this new arc from the very beginning. What's perhaps being implied here? Not all of these lost masters will appear in KH4. That's what happened with Organization 13. Not all characters were shown in one game. Yes, we're comparing a larger group to simply the Foretellers, but who knows really. One thing that gets a bit confusing with these translations, we have the Lost Master arc in KH4's trailer, its singular form, which could indicate one individual in particular, but these translations seem to always refer to the Lost Master arc as the Lost Masters arc, or Saga. In any case, I believe Lost Masters arc, or Lost Master arc, just refers to the same thing, the story revolving around the Foretellers. Moving on, there is perhaps the misconception of Tetsuya Nomura always writing for the Kingdom Hearts series. Here's the reality of the situation. Nomura wrote for Birth by Sleep, Union Cross, Dream Drop Distance, KH3, but wasn't alone. After all, Nomura is known for directing and designing characters for the series. KH4, looking at it, it will be no different. Nomura confirmed that the story scenario will be a 3-person team. Yes, Nomura will be involved in this one, along with Masaru Oka again. Now we also have the one who Nomura describes as a newcomer to the series, Neo The World Ends With You's Akiko Ishibashi. Nomura explained the biggest reason is because of how she factors into approaching new users, from the perspective of someone who has no experience with the KH series. She did a great job of integrating the character's values and principles in Neo The World Ends With You and other works, and I thought her way of thinking would be well suited for KH. That's interesting, how she factors into approaching new users. Are they leaning towards KH4 being a standalone title, aka newcomer friendly? It's KH. It's interesting to say the least. Now, a 3-person team is not really something new for the series. We had examples, Birth by Sleep, 3-team, and KH1, another 3-person writing team. This was a direct out-of-the-blue response to a question asked surrounding these two robed figures. Nomura stated that their identity remains a secret, but my personal guess is this is the Master of Masters and Lucio. But then, why keep it a secret? If it's that obvious, why make it a secret? That's where I wonder if these are the Master of Masters and Lucio. When asked about the new music we hear, which by the way is brought to you by Yoko Shimomura, the new dearly beloved for Missing Link and KH4's music we hear, Nomura explained for the latter half, which I take it he means KH4, he wanted the music to evoke this sense of anticipation, a hero on the horizon. I definitely got that feeling when I saw Sora running towards that giant enemy. He did say it was difficult as in implementing the right length of the song for the trailer. As for Missing Link's case, he wanted vocals throughout, so a chorus was added for the trailer. And speaking of Missing Link, let's go over what we know. First and foremost, who is talking in this trailer? The short version, it's supposedly Sigurd. Both Missing Link and KH4 trailers feature the same narrator Nomura confirmed, albeit delivering different tones. Nomura added it's a character who's already appeared in the series but is being voiced for the very first time. Sigurd made his debut in Union Cross's epilogue. Nomura's not the one who explicitly said this. Rather, Sigurd was deciphered through his message, which was hanging on the Sora statue at the event. The long version, as in how this was deciphered in the first place, you can find more details in my in-depth breakdown of KH4. That video does contain chapters, so feel free to check that one out if you're curious. The part of the trailer that says, "Here are people gathered to be part of a whole, in societies that sprawled and branched like veins through the city," Nomura brought up categories: Society of Successors and Society of Non-Successors. The timeline of this game, the story happens 4 generations after Ephemer's time. Union Cross's epilogue explained that Ephemer founded the city of Scala at Kylum. Ephemer has descendants, hence the 2 categories he mentioned. The Successors is composed of the main family carrying Ephemer's bloodline. The non-successors, Nomura calls it, the branch family. Remember the part where I wondered if KH4 would be newcomer friendly? Well, Nomura stated that they want a similar approach to Kingdom Hearts 4, as in approach new users when looking at Missing Link and introduce another scenario writer. This time we have another newcomer, Ruiko Fukuzawa, known for Final Fantasy XIV's Heavensward. When looking at gameplay, first thing you probably focused on are those figures that appear on the field. Question was asked surrounding these figures and how they seem to strengthen our character. Nomura went on and explained we wanted them to look rich, so we made them in the form of figurines. The pieces can be obtained not just from the getcha, but also in the field. For example, you might get a message that says, "Pieces are currently available in Shibuya." The getcha mechanic, for those unfamiliar, means pretty much in-game purchases. Guess I'm not surprised, seeing as how Union Cross had a similar thing, in-game purchases. If Missing Link happens 4 generations after Ephemer, then we're still in the past. With that, you might scratch your head and wonder how certain figurines like Terra appear in the past. While Union Cross had medals with characters from various time periods, Missing Link will be similar, in a way where our character draws different abilities from them. These figures you collect will contain information on said character, and Nomura added the purpose of this association between characters and pieces is to collect records of all of the world's past, presents, and futures. Missing Link started in parallel with Union Cross, as the team decided to enter the next mobile game for Kingdom Hearts. They thought gameplay should feel similar to the mainline games in an attempt to garner more of an audience. Nomura mentions that Missing Link is classified as a bridge type of game. He explained that we have the Key Saga, which contains Kingdom Hearts Key, which was originally a desktop version in Japan exclusively. Then we had Kingdom Hearts Union Cross and Dark Road. And then we have Missing Link. He didn't outright state which saga Missing Link falls in, but it primarily acts as a game that bridges 2 games together. Now, according to the translation we find on KH13, Missing Link would fall between post-finale of Union Cross and the beginning of Dark Road. Straight up, is Brain the main character of Missing Link? Nope. Nomura clarified that the main character is our custom-made character, akin to Union Cross. Missing Link's map traversal gets compared to Google Maps' Street View. You know when you tap on the screen and then it zooms, moves on to that area you pointed? Well, he explained that the game is similar to that in terms of map traversal. With a simple tap of the screen, the player can move from one area of the map to another by using points, he explained. You also have the choice to walk to your other destination if you don't want to use points. From what we see here, we have what seems to be the forest from Rapunzel's world in KH3. Depending on the timing, Nomura added that the terrain and atmosphere will be partially based on Disney motifs. During early development, the whole area was covered with a bunch of motifs, like a skin to sort of speak. The team thought it was overkill. They thought balancing things out was a better idea. Now here's a list of other details we got on Missing Link. When it comes to multiplayer, the game will support up to 6 players. The screen can be viewed in portrait or landscape mode. The story will connect all of the mysteries up to now. There will be 2 modes. Story mode with quests and walking mode like Pokemon Go. Nomura did want to give the player the choice to play from the comfort of your own home as well. Start your quest from a base. Go out to explore the world to collect pieces. The pieces are known as the figurines. They do power up your Keyblades. Beta testing is scheduled for fall 2022. Last thing I want to mention in this video, from what the trailer showed us, the finale of Dark Road is finally coming in August 2022. The finale was originally planned for winter, but with the extra addition of new story, the finale got pushed back. What happened exactly? It was explained that initially, the game would include the other classmates, as well as Xehanort's companions. There were change of plans. Nomura asked Tomoko Kanemaki, who also worked on 358 Days Over 2 and writes the series' light novels, to put together a scenario with a limited number of stories. So the plan received even more changes after that. Nomura had the team instead make adjustments so that the story revolved solely around Xehanort. He then added, however, I felt that we were losing too much by making all of these cuts, so I decided to add them back in at the end. As I said at the event, you'll even learn why Master Xehanort became bald. Since it was decided that Dark Road would release its story all at once, the team got reduced to 2 animators only. And with that said, that's pretty much it for the video, folks. So as usual, feel free to share your own thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, a huge thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel over on Patreon. It really means a lot, I appreciate it. And as always, for all of you tuning in, thank you so much, and yeah, I have been Vivi, and until next time.